This morning on The Dish, Chef Anthony Sasso. He was born in the Hudson River Valley of New York to a family with roots in Spain. After culinary school in New York City and jobs at some of the city's top restaurants, he traveled to Spain to master its secrets.
He brought that knowledge back to New York's Casa, where he earned 5 consecutive Michelin stars. This year, he became executive chef at Tapas Bar at La Sirena in Chelsea's Maritime Hotel. The main restaurant is all Italian, a project of Mario Batali and Joseph Bastianich, but the bar is all his, featuring an entirely separate menu of small Spanish dishes. Perfect, I might say, with drinks. Chef Anthony Sasso, good morning. Welcome to The Dish.
Good morning. I think we're looking at half of that menu right now.
Tell us some of what you can tell us that's here.
Well, the big attraction is the paella. Paella is one thing that we can do at Sirena that we weren't able to do at Casa. The restaurant is probably 10 times the size. The kitchen is, 20 times the size of the old restaurant that I came from. But that's definitely one of the anchors of Spanish cuisine. And the fun thing about it in Sirena is we're serving this alongside in a different room right next to some of the best pastas in the city. So it's a really fun concept that we started about 6 months ago, and it's really taken off.
A lot of the chefs we've had here grow up and they've got a family that's inspired them in so many ways to cook. And you sort of said that it was, trial and error on your own early on. Yeah,
I mean, I always had fun in the kitchen and playing around. My father's a carpenter, so he was really good with his hands in building. And my mom always had a way to kind of like work 2 jobs or 3 jobs just to kind of like keep everything else together. So me and my 3 sisters, we were stuck in the kitchen and kind of like had to fend for ourselves a little bit as far as like making dinner. We had grandmothers close by that always kind of like had something on the stove that we would either pitch in and eat or help them kind of like wrap up and put together for dinner time. So
when did the light bulb go off for you that this was what you wanted to do?
I think it was right about that time when the Food Network was really taking off. So you were able to see these chefs in their kitchens put together their job outside the restaurant. And I got really into it. A lot of my first jobs were in kitchens and restaurants. And I loved it. I just always liked.
You worked with some really big names. I mean, Bobby Flay, Wiley Dufresne, Mario Batali.
Right. So as a young cook, that's kind of like what you're going for. You're going for the best in the business.
And then I mentioned you went to Spain to learn as well. What was that experience like for you?
Well, I went to Spain. The first few times I went there was just to kind of like travel and to see my family. So my first day there, one of these trips, my uncle brought me to his favorite restaurant. And I had bought a one-way ticket that trip and didn't know if I was ever going to come back home.
Really?
And the second day, I walked in the kitchen and met the chef. And the third day, I had a job. And I ended up staying for a full year that time.
The tapas, which everybody knows from Spain, now a part of La Sirena, that's not a common thing. It's like a restaurant within a restaurant. How did that concept even come about?
So I had been at Casa for a very long time. It was kind of like this little place that I won't say was containing me, but I think that's the way like Mario Batali looked at it. He was kind of like, how do we give him a larger platform?
Right. He made you an offer you couldn't refuse, in effect.
And the way he made it was kind of Godfather-esque, where we kind of, the two of us met alone.
There was not a horse head involved, was there?
No. Maybe a pig's head. We met at his restaurant, Otto, kind of in the back of this empty room. It was 9 o'clock in the morning. We were the only 2 there. So he kind of said, I want to do something with this huge space that I have that's kind of should be used for multiple purposes. So he asked me if I wanted to come over, offer tapas food in his Italian restaurant in the bar area.
So did you say yes right away?
No. So Mono's very endearing to me. I've been there for a long time. So he basically gave me a night to think about it. He was like, just give me an answer tomorrow morning. He called me back 4 hours later and was like, so what are you going to do, bud? And I mean, at that point, I was just like, yes, I'm on board. I think it's a great idea.
It is a great marriage. We are on The Dish, so I will ask you to sign our dish.
I'm not used to plates these large.
Let me ask you this as well. If you could have a meal, anyone, past or present, who would it be?
My grandmother, Norah. She passed away not that long ago. It was her food that kind of got me into cooking, and I still think about what she would put on the plate whenever I'm thinking of putting something on the plate myself. So.
We see it in the cuisine as well, a little love in there. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Chef Anthony Sasso. For more on him and The Dish, you can head to our website at cbsthismorning.com.